at a depth of less than 30 kilometers under sea, we can expect a lot of damage, at least within 50, 60 at least, or maybe even 100 kilometers from those areas. So yes, areas around Sumatra will be able to feel the heat of that earthquake, and we have to actually go down and take a look at what is the extent of the damage. But here in Jakarta, as I'm speaking from you right now, we have not seen any damage at all. Yes, we felt the building sway, it creaks. We have to make a visual assessment during the day. The management of buildings usually make visual assessment as to whether there are any cracks that has taken place caused by the earthquake. Now
as far as we can remember, of course, Aceh was the worst hit when there was a tsunami just a couple of years ago, and as far as we know, the tsunami warning has not been lifted on this earthquake. In terms of Sumatra and perhaps the whole of Indonesia, how prepared would you say is the country able to deal with another devastation that could be the tsunami?
I think in terms of preparedness, after the 2004 Aceh tsunami, there were a number of things that were put in place. A better law, a better tsunami alert system, which has been provided for by the other countries' expertise. We have seen this, especially in Sumatra, and also some parts of the western part of Java. But as I move from one island to another, Sumatra down to Java, only those villagers or residents living along the coast facing the Indian Ocean, they are a bit more prepared, if not physically but mentally. They know that at any time there could be an earthquake that will hit that area. So on that front, I think Indonesia is prepared. But logistically, I think they're a little bit back. Not everything is up to time to be able to handle another major earthquake. For example, Pangandaran was hit very badly. Of course, that was followed by from the Jogja earthquake. So reconstruction in Jogja, for example, in Bantul, is still going on, and Aceh is still under reconstruction. So any major earthquake in this country, I think it will be very devastating.
We're just looking at the reports from the geological services. It's magnitude of 8. That's fairly huge. In fact, I don't think in recent times we've had anything that big. How would you say this compared to other sort of earthquakes that Indonesia has experienced?
I think indeed, as you say, at 8, I think that is the strongest after what hit Aceh in 2004. Aceh was hit by about 9.8, and this is definitely strong. We'll have to wait and see what is the visual, what is the physical damage that is caused somewhere around the eastern part of Sumatra, as well as you say, up to the western part where Padang is. We'll get a better assessment of the physical damage as we get more pictures coming out from those areas now.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that. I think, Sujati, we have to let you go, check on the situation. So thank you for that live report from Jakarta. Sujati Siswo, our Indonesia Bureau Chief, speaking live there from Jakarta. And we do need your help. If you have any pictures or stories of the earthquake, share them with us. A viewer from Singapore has sent us footage of his fish tank shaking in his home. Now, do remember that Singapore is far away from Indonesia for the fish tank to shake. It gives you an idea, perhaps, of the severity of the earthquake, of what people in Bengkulu province must have felt. So if you have pictures or audio to contribute, please go to our website. That's www.channelnewsasia.com/yournews. You can upload your pictures and videos there, and we'll share it with other viewers. And now we have a Singapore reporter, Channel News Asia's Valerie Tan, joining us with more of the latest on the evacuation situation in Singapore. Valerie, what is it like where you are? Where are you?
Well, Melissa, I'm actually at Potong Pasir, which is the central part of Singapore. Evacuation of the residents have actually returned home. But earlier on, it was almost like a scene of a panic because many residents ran out of home the moment they felt tremors. And these tremors lasted, they actually were felt from the second story of the block of flats all the way up to the 14th sporadic, the shaking, each one lasting about a few seconds, and a total of about 2 minutes. Window panes shook, hanging ornaments swung, water spilled from water tanks, as you might have heard by now. And some of them told me they actually felt headaches because of the shaking. Most of them returned home after about 10 minutes. They were congregating on grass patches on the ground level of their flat, but they returned home about 10 minutes later after they felt safe and no more tremors were going on. But some residents told me this is not the first time they have experienced such tremors. In fact, some of them have actually felt it 3 or 4 times back some months ago. But they say this time the impact is the strongest, and the tremors are also the most frequent this time. I also understand that when the earthquake happened in Indonesia, it's about 750 kilometers away from Singapore. That might be far, but still the impact is very strong, according to the residents here.
Okay, Valerie Tan, thank you very much for that location report.